Okay, guess I will go ahead and make this my front wall. I'll make this my back wall. Just use my rectangle tool, kind of zoom in so I can get right there on the edge. Just pan over, hit back rectangle. I want to make sure I'm on the bottom edge. Hit comma 5.5. Use my push-pull tool. I'm going to click here and go over here to the face. That'll make it snap to the same size as that board next to it. I'm going to triple click this, make component, create. I'm going to come back around just to this side. Going to hit the move tool. As I'm dragging this up, I hit the control button. And zoom in and make sure I'm getting the right spot. Okay. As you can see, I drew. Okay. Okay, going to use my rectangle tool and come here, make this, hit 1.5, push pull. Just click on this corner here so that it snaps to the edge. I'm going to right click, make this a component. Now I'm going to hit my M tool, highlight this lower right corner of the stud. I'm going to move this, drag it. As I'm dragging it, I'm going to press the control button so it makes a copy. I'm going to drag this corner right here, snap it to that corner. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to draw the rest of these studs on the back wall, and I want to maintain my 24" on center, so I'm going to use my tape measure. I'm going to select the side of this stud, not the sheathing, just the end of the stud. From here I'm going to make a guide. Just going to click somewhere on this bottom here. I'm going to make that say 23.25, so it snaps that guide there. Use my rectangle tool. I'm going to draw a rectangle when it hits the intersection of the end component. When you see that little X, you know you're at the guide and the top of the bottom plate. So I'm going to click there, go up, use the H tool, come back, hit R again to go back to the rectangle tool. Just going to snap it on the bottom of the stud somewhere. You're going to see, just click it there. Then I'm going to type 1.5. It's going to snap it. I'm going to use my push-pull tool. Going to kind of orbit a little bit. Going to zoom this way. I'm going to type 5.5 so that it'll snap. Going to triple click that, make a component. Delete. I'm going to go ahead and click this guide, and I'm going to delete the guide. Okay, now I'm going to get back to where. Okay, I'm going to click that component, use the move button, zoom in a little bit. I'm going to drag it. As I'm dragging it, hit the control button. I'm going to make that 24 inches. I'm going to hit times 2. And I made two studs, so now I have the rest of that drawn. Now I'm going to make all of this a group so I can put it all together. I'm going to hold down the control button, click, click, selecting other studs while I hold down the control button. Right click, I'm going to make this a group. So now when I click this, the whole group lights up. I'm going to hit the B tool, so I'm going to make these look like studs. I'm going to paint it. Okay. Now I'm going to draw my sheathing. It's going to use a rectangle. This corner. And come down. Hit a rectangle. Be on the top edge. Hit comma for foot. I'm going to click here. Hit R to go back to my rectangle. Use my push-pull tool, come out 0.5, highlight that one, going to triple click, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to make this a group. I hit my B tool, I'm going to make this OSB. Let's see here. As you can see, I've got almost my whole inside of my shed drawn. Okay, I'm going to go over to the midpoint with a rectangle. I want to draw a 4-foot wide opening by 6 foot, a 4 foot wide by 6 foot tall rough opening. So I'm going to click on the middle of the midpoint. I'm going to draw a rectangle that is I make this a 2 foot, comma 5.5. I draw that right there. I'm going to come over here, draw another one. First number, just going to hit 2 foot. Okay, so that's 4 foot. I'm going to use my push-pull tool. I said I want to make this 6 feet. I'll make this one also 6 feet. Now I'm going to triple click. I'm going to make this a group. I'm just using this to frame my door rough opening. After I'm done building all my studs around it, I'm going to delete it. Just a simple matter of selecting it and hitting delete. Easy as that. But I'll undo that for now. What I'm going to do now is draw my Soleplate. I'm going to draw a rectangle from here to here. Push pull. Go up 1.5. This is going to be the same distance, so I'm just going to select this component. I'm going to select this. I'm going to use my move tool. Come here to the corner. Come over here, hit control. I'm going to make this zoom in right there. Just make a copy. Okay. Now I'm going to use my rectangle tool. Draw a little rectangle. Make that 1.5. Use my push-pull tool. Kind of go out a little bit. Kind of zoom up. I'm just going to hover over the corner. This will be my jack stud. Okay. Now I can triple click that, make that a component. Hit create. I'm just going to go straight on. Use my move tool. tap the control button. Okay, got that jack stud drawn. Now that I got my jack studs framed out, I'm just going to select that and delete it. Now I'm going to use a rectangle tool to draw my header. Push pull. I'm going to make this a make it a 2x6 header, 5.5. Okay. Well, normally when you build a 2x6 header, that's as thick as a 2x6. Usually it's built up by 3 2x6, and you have 2 half-inch pieces of plywood for spacers or OSB, or you have 3 in a row and then you have a 1-inch piece of foam. But let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll go ahead and draw it real quick. Hit rectangle. I'm going to hit comma 1.5. Now this one, typically you see it set up like this, comma 0.5, comma 1.5, and then from here you got another little spacer, comma 0.5. Okay. Now, as you can see, that's like that would be a 2x6, half-inch plywood, 2x6, half-inch plywood, 2x6, or it could be OSB, or you could just put 3 straight together and then you have a 1-inch. Anyway, I'm going to make this a component. I'm going to triple click, make component, create. Okay. Now I'm going to draw my jack studs. Hit rectangle. Rectangle. 1.5. Push pull. Just going to zoom up. Come over here and click to that so that it matches this height. I'm going to triple click that and make it a component. Create. Highlight, drag it, hit control, snap it over there. Now I'm going to use this side, do the same exact thing. I'm going to drag it over and tap control button. I'll move it right there. I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to use the lower right corner. I'm going to drag it, hit control, snap it to here. As you can see, I got all my studs laid out for the front. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle tool. Go here, here, push pull, just hold it over the side, and now I'm going to right click and going to make a component. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is make some cripples. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that from here to here. Push pull, come out. We get 1.5. Make that a component, create. I'm going to hit the move button. I'm going to slide this over. And it won't let me, so make this go. Okay. Now I'm going to find the center. This here is a midpoint. I'm going to find the midpoint of this block. Okay. I'm going to select it. If I use the midpoint, highlight that, hit Control. I'm going to snap this right here. Okay. I'm going to delete that line. Delete that line. Okay, now I got my cripples drawn in line, 24" on center. I'm going to okay, let me select this. I'm going to hold down my control button. I'm going to highlight everything. Right click, make group. So now I want to select that. I want to use the paint bucket. Painted all that. I'm going to use my rectangle tool to draw some sheathing. Going to oh, I guess I forgot to, anyway, I drew rectangles, and I was kind of thinking about how to do this, so let me see if this works. I think I can delete this line here and this line here. Do push pull, come out, yeah, there we go, come out 0.5. okay, yeah, I guess that worked. Well, let me divide this with a line, midpoint. Okay, clicking that, making that OSB. Okay, let's do a quick look at it, what it looks like. I got all my walls drawn.